www.lawmanguitars.com. Okay, I have got the most special guitar that I've gotten in a really, really long time. This thing is an absolute dead mint 1960 Harmony H63 Espanada. Now, there's been a lot of silvertone guitars out there that look like this that they call Espanadas. This is the H63 Espanada. You know how you can tell? Espanada on the headstock, Espanada on the body. That's how you can tell an Espanada. Now, let's talk a little bit about these guitars. These guitars were made in Chicago by Harmony. There's some people who say that they think these bodies were made by Gibson. There's no way to tell that, but they are just very, very substantial guitars. The necks feel absolutely great. They're just a nice handful. They're not thin, they're not thick, they're just right, and they've just got really, really cool appointments. One of the first things I want to point out are these pickups. Now, the pickups, people with the Harmony website and I kind of started calling these, and I think we've named them the P13 Pickup. Now, I don't think Harmony called them that, but the Harmony guys that have been around for the last 15 years ago have started calling them the P13. So they're the P13 Pickup. These are made by Gibson. They were made to specs for Harmony. And they used them on these. They used them on some Silvertones, I believe, and some jazz models. But they are extraordinary pickups. They have individual pole pieces, and they are so warm and so strong. They are just fantastic pickups. And anytime you see one of these pickups, some have just the bar across them without the individual pole pieces. They sound just as great as the ones that you can adjust. I'll tell you what, these are great pickups. Now, from there, it's got the original bridge. It's got the original fancy tailpiece, of course the cupcake knobs, and it's got the original molded pickguard, which they make remakes of these because they're all missing. This one hasn't a crack in it. I swear it does not have a pick scratch on it. Now, let's talk about this guitar, okay? When I bought this guitar, I was told that it was bought in 1960, and they played it for 2 months, didn't like playing guitar, stuck it back in the case, and never looked at it again until they decided it was time to sell. So I took a flyer and said, I'll take it. And I hear that all the time, but I have to say, the frets are unplayed. The pickguard doesn't have any pickup scratch or pick scratches on it. There's just one little scratch right here that looks like it came from the guitar stand. Waverly tuners, the individual tuners on here, they have no rust, no nothing. I mean, they're just like they came out of the box today. And the guitar is just absolutely beautiful. It has some finish crazing, of course. If it didn't, I would have sworn it was refinished because it's in such beautiful shape. The only couple things that we did, there was a couple high frets which we addressed, and the Espanada had come loose in a couple places. My tech took very, very much care to re-glue these to make sure that they don't come loose. But when you clean your guitar, be very careful. It's metal, it's raised, your cloth will catch it, and then of course you have the ability to break those. I see these broken all the time. But the guitar is just mint, and I believe me, I don't say that very, very often about guitars because I know someone's going to say, oh, it's got this, it's got that. I swear this guitar is just extraordinary, and I've got more to tell you when we get to the case. But anyway, these guitars, the Espanadas, were made starting in 1959, and they had what was called Harma metal. Basically, instead of the bindings like we see on this guitar, they were aluminum, and they went around the whole guitar, and they look kind of cool. I've not seen one. I question, you know, the metal on the guitar myself, but I'm not going to diss it because I've never touched one. But they came out with those, and those lasted until I want to say 1960, which is when they came out with these, which have a narrower body and, of course, the standard bindings. And they made it up until 1964 with this size body. So I did not pull any pots to determine the exact date. I'm calling it a 1960, but it could be a 61, 62, 63, or 64. The only way to tell is to pull one of the pots out and see what it dates, because there's no way to tell from any numbers in the guitar. But it is as early as 1960 and as late as 1964. And I I got to tell you, it's just extraordinary. I've been playing this guitar on the front pickup, and it's really, really warm. Let's go to both pickups together. Just a little brighter, but still very, very warm, which is very much these pickups. Let's go that back pickup. Wow, this is so much fun to play. I have to say it's a hollow body guitar, so it will react like a hollow body guitar. I strung it up with 11s because these guitars were used to having much heavier grade or gauge strings on them. Probably 13s was what would have come on them originally. I'm not recommending putting 13s on it unless you have hands of iron, but 11s, it has a wound G, so you might want to switch to 10s, but I'm telling you, 11s really sing on this guitar, so you might think about that for your new owner. Now, let's talk a little bit about this guitar case. I've spoken a lot about how magnificent that guitar is. Well, when I got the box and I opened it up and I saw this case, I thought, well, that's good news. There is not one single break in this cardboard soft shell case. I mean, it's in perfect condition. I mean, you can see that it's been around. There is one hinge, the leather hinge on the back, probably deteriorated and fell off, but the two back hinges, all the latches are on it, all four latches, the original handles on it. It's the gray and white Harmony case. It is the original case. And when I opened it up, I was just floored. First I pulled this out and I thought, what is this? And I got to thinking about it, and I remembered back in the day, they used to ship these guitars with this paper. You know, now we use bubble wrap. Well, they wrapped the guitar. They kept even the packing paper with this guitar. I couldn't throw it away. I started to, and I went, no, I can't do it. So it has the beautiful crushed velvet red that is in beautiful, beautiful shape. The accessory box lid is here. And I have to say, I opened it up, and I went, oh, my goodness, what have we got here? So I took this out, and I went, oh, my goodness, here's everything that came with this guitar. The guitar body, placing the bridge. What else have we got here? We've got the how to work the truss rod. That's in there from Harmony. What else do we have in here? We have the Harmony suggestions for care of your guitar. That's still in here. And this was a thing I have never seen. I've never seen this in all the Harmony guitars that I've gotten. They ship these guitars without the end pins because, as some of you know, if you drop your guitar on the bottom, this thing acts like a wedge and it'll just split the bottom of your guitar open. So they shipped them without, but they shipped two of them in the little package, and this guitar has never had an end pin in it. I mean, it's never had a strap on it. It's just incredible. So this guitar is super, super rare in the condition that it's in, and Espanadas are rare anyway. So you're getting a guitar that's had 2 months worth of play on it, plus what little play I put on it, which is probably amounts to about an hour total. It's almost like being the original owner. So these guitars, I was just telling my director here that when I first got in the business, you could buy those Espanadas for about $800. That was about 15 years ago when I started in this business. 15 years later, these guitars are selling regularly for around $3,000. I mean, they are really, really rare, and they're fantastic guitars. Jump blues guys like them, jazz guys like them, rockabilly guys like them. They'll play everything. You'll love those pickups, and they'll only increase in value. Now, I'm not asking $3,000 for this one, you'll be happy to know, so I'm leaving some meat on the bone for you if you're an investor. But I'm telling you, if you got a couple $1,000 $100 sitting around, it's a lot more fun to have it in this guitar and watch it grow over the years as opposed to putting it into a mutual fund and watching it sit there doing nothing. So anyway, I'm a big promoter of buying vintage guitars. You can find lots of them on www.lawmanguitars.com or go to reverb.com where we have our entire inventory. If you haven't been there, go to reverb.com, type in Lawman Guitars. We've got about 165 guitars in there right now. A lot of them just like the Espanada. They're really, really cool, old, great, vintage. Some newer ones. I have some brand new guitars that I offer sometimes, but mostly vintage guitars. And my customers have come to know me. I handpick every single one of these. I don't have guys out there buying guitars for me. I handpick and touch every one of them myself. So if they're not cool, they're not going to make it to the shop. So check them all out at www.lawmanguitars.com, and thanks a lot for watching this video today.